Everyone, 30.6 here, and welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, the American Campaign. My game crashed when I tried to record the last episode because I decided to make the game angry. Excuse me. So, we're going to try this again. You didn't miss much. I was just playing around with light cruiser designs, but I also saw... I know for a fact that the next gun research is the Mark 412, so we're going to wait a month before we go through the next round. I also know that we have a new cruiser on the way, although we are going to design another cruiser this episode. I want a purely anti-destroyer cruiser, and they'll be known as the Langley class. As for... I also noticed that the Idaho, the original Idaho, is missing. I figured out what happened to it. Apparently, somehow it got removed. I don't know how, but it did. So thankfully, there's this little tab right here where I can go over here to the ship design screen and I can click on the Idaho and I can't... God freaking... Ah! It's alright. It's alright. We're going to figure this out. So, I need to... Status, please. Thank you. And we are going to cancel... suspend. Can I not cancel the refit? Or can I delete the design maybe and save this? Delete. If it just deleted the entire Idaho class, I'm going to be upset. No, it just says suspend. You are to also suspend. Alright. Let's go to the next month real quick. I want to make sure this works properly. If not, I'll just reload the save. I should have saved beforehand. It's alright, we're figuring this out. So yeah, it just removed the Idaho, and I had the same problem with the Connecticut's that they weren't refitting. I figured it out. I can just duplicate the design. I remembered a comment someone had posted. I do not remember who it is, but let me look now. Go away, go away, go away, go away. I don't know how you're refitting. I can't. You can't be refitted. There's no design for you to refit to. Oh, there is. No, what about the Idaho? Okay. Idaho? You. So let me see if I can find that comment. It's down here somewhere. Let's see. I'm going to look on my phone. Is it episode 0? No. What about episode 19? Is it episode 19? Ah, yes, here you are. Joshua Dalton, thank you. Right, so I remembered his comment. I remembered your comment. I don't want to assume. I don't... The YouTube algorithm might get angry at me, so... You gotta be freaking kidding me. Okay. Copy design. We're just gonna have to do this the hard way. Now we can play around with things. So, I'm going to do the same thing for the Tulsa. And I got to make sure before so this does not violate the scrap rule for the campaign. So for those of you who've been following along, you might remember me saying at the beginning of the, if you've been following along from the beginning, or if you haven't, and you just happen to stumble upon, hi, welcome. they're still refitting, but they are. Does this game auto-save? I think it auto-saves, but I'm gonna try and reload it. But yeah, so I happen to remember that. What time is it? It is. I don't auto-saved it. Alright, we're gonna go back into this. See, this would be something that I think aircraft carriers could work with. Like, you build a seaplane tender or something. And you have it launch reconnaissance aircraft. Give you an advantage in naval invasions or spotting the enemy. And just kind of sit in the back line and not do much. You could kind of work it like a submarine. They don't do much. They just kind of sit there. And if you want to add aircraft carriers later as a separate design, I think that'd be fun. I don't know how you control it though, but you could kind of just say like, oh, carrier backline launches this attack, so you wouldn't see them in battle. It wasn't their job. The job wasn't to be in a battle line, but they could, do like submarines where it'd be like, oh, it sunk this many transports or something. Transport losses are this much, or it says damaged or sunk by carrier, and then it would have like, okay, this port's received this damage, and you could set them to missions like the submarines. I think that would be a pretty good thing, but at least you'd be able to design the carriers for different roles, like an anti-submarine carrier where you just have huge range and you just essentially just do anti-submarine work to lower the threat of submarines. I think that'd be cool. Plus, it would make perfect sense for escorts, for escorting convoys, because then there would be a bit more of a. It'd be a lot more fun to do the convoy missions because then you could have like, oh, these ships have been chased, these carriers have spotted, they give you a spotting advantage where you'd be say, oh, maybe they could generate more missions, like say, I want you to focus on convoys, or I want you to focus on fleets to generate missions to like strike. I think that would be a fun thing to add. I don't know how you'd add it, but you could. Probably have to play around with some stuff in the files. I just really think that'd be a fun way to do things, because then you could have like, okay, I'm just gonna pick a light carrier. Right, and we are building that new Idaho, so that takes care of that. Please don't crash again. Right, so this is the Langley, so I'm gonna just view the design real quick. I want to show you all what we worked on, or what I designed. Because the footage got screwy. So this is the Langley class. They're designed. You remember how I talked about last episode about maybe designing the cruiser to be purely anti-destroyer? Well, this is that cruiser. It's the Langley class. They have 6 dual 5-inch 38 caliber quick-firing guns. Otherwise, they're up to date. They've got 5 inches on the belts, 4 inches on the deck, 4 inches on the conning tower and superstructure, just a way to balance weight. They've got plenty of dual 1.6 inch guns, or what would be 40 millimeter guns. They've got triple 21 inch torpedo tubes, just to do purely anti-destroyer work. These guys are going to complement the Springfields. So we designed the Springfields to be a cruiser fighter, in a way. Like, they were just a general light cruiser design. The Langleys, of which we're building 26, are going to complement them. So, because I didn't want to put too much pressure on saying, okay, I need this cruiser to do this thing. That's a blank tech, by the way. More bulkhead protection. Alright. Yeah, nothing really unusual here. We're just kind of waiting for the battleships to be done refitting. Which class is refitting right now, actually, now that I think about it? The Connecticuts are refitting. We're going to solve this problem. We're just going to build 2 Connecticuts. We're going to name them Utah and Arizona. When we will sell these, we'll just name them BB-1, BB-2. In-game, in lore, it'll be the same ship. They're just going to be the Connecticut 1930 design because it's just stupid that we can't refit them. Same thing with the class was it? The Puerto Ricos that will not refit for some reason. These guys are going to get the same treatment. Philippines and Samoa are going to get the same treatment. Same thing with the Tulsa when we get on to upgrading the Fresnos or Lake Placid. Yeah, we got to do the Lake Placids soon. All right. As for looking ahead, oh, please don't crash again, please. I also forgot to turn back on my mic after I had to mute when someone came in the room. As for what's going on? Why is Argentina in? Oh, it's just the flag's misplaced. All right, good. France didn't take Northern Colombia. I was worried about that. Anyway, as I was saying, I think the destroyers are done. Yeah, so I'm gonna start going into ports. We're gonna pull all the Hobson class somewhere, and I think I have a spot for them. Samuel and Moore. I don't know what you guys. Oh, right, you guys came from across the Pacific. Okay, where are the Hobson class? Hobson. Okay. Move ships. The Hobson class are now going to be, I think, where do I take them? Because logic would say they're anti-submarine mine layers. Leave them in the Pacific. Actually, yeah, you know what? I'm overthinking this. Go to Keelung. Just the destroyers, please. You guys are McCombs. I think I'm gonna send the McCombs somewhere else. I think is what I decided on in my head. Move ships. Keelung. Only the Hobson class. Olympia, you can stay. Hobson, 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 and Hobson. Okay. What's here? Macomb, 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 Macomb. Is there anybody else nearby? No, you guys are all Samuel and Moores. Nope. Aha! You're Macomb. Alright. Manila? You just have a light cruiser there. I think that's the Vicksburg for some reason. Don't know why she's there. San Francisco? Macomb. So I'm gonna move the Macomb class. I really think our next war is going to be in Asia, but I don't want to jinx it. So actually, I've got a spot for them. Go on a bar. Macomb. Take a few turns to get there. But, yeah, the reason I'm sending them over there is because these guys are going to be the next. These guys are all anti-submarine, mine-laying destroyers. Now, we do not need them in frontline duties anymore. So I'm just getting them out of the way, sending them somewhere else. Is there any destroyers left in Fort Bayard? Nope. And plus, if we end up at war with like Austria-Hungary or something, these guys can just throw a bunch of stuff out. And also, one of the light cruiser classes, I think it's going to be our oldest light cruiser class, is going to get Uh, who's in Seattle? Sailing on board. What was I saying? Oh, they're gonna be transferred. We're gonna design a class of, or redesign a class of light cruisers. So whatever the oldest light cruiser class is, I'm gonna have to take a look, and we're gonna take those ships, and they're going to be sent away. All right. The brush ASWs are gonna probably just end up in the Pacific, I think. So only McCombs. Move those guys over. Starting to solidify the fleet formations, which is good because we definitely need to solidify what ships go where. Uh, who's here? Sailing on Moors. So I'm gonna go to the next turn. I'm gonna make sure that all of the Macomb class are now in one port. They're moving, and I'll do the same thing with the Hobson class. I want to make sure we centralize our oldest destroyers into minesweeping, mine-laying, anti-submarine groups, because that is important, especially now that we theoretically have 5 fronts. We have the South Pacific, we have the home territory, which would be home Pacific, home Atlantic and Caribbean. We have the Mediterranean, and we have what was the 5th one? Theoretically, the Indian Ocean. This is purely theoretical. So, anyone want to ally us? Egypt! You know what? You get a ship. Looks like Japan's trying to make nice, which actually works well into the story. Okay. So, Egypt has... they used to be our allies, like a long time ago. I can't remember when that stopped. But, you're not going to do that. You're going to be named as Egypt. Name it the Ramses, but I'm lazy. Alright, so class. Where are the Macombs? Etsy. Aha, there's some in Tainan who haven't left yet. We'll send them out. As for the Hobsons, Keeling. There aren't many Hobsons left, which makes my work much easier. The Brush class, on the other hand, needs to be centralized. So let's go ahead and move those Macomb class to where they belong, or at least start them on the journey. It's going to take them a bit. So you guys go to Bar. Alright, takes care of that. The destroyers. Actually, I could centralize them. I could take the Brush class and I could theoretically just move them to the Caribbean. That might be what I do. As for research, are we getting anything? No, that's just the new cruiser we're looking at. This better boiler. Or is this better fuel? No, just advanced funnels. What about this? Are you important? Ducted propeller. You're just kind of a blank tech. Yeah, nothing too interesting on that front. Britain. I think we need to talk. And then... I don't like that, but... Japan is improving with us, which is good. I would like an ally, probably not Germany, but we'll see what happens. We're still the number one power. Yes, so let's go to the next turn. Let's get these, just a little bit more capacity in the shipyards. So once these refits are done, we'll immediately move into the next round. So, again, these refits are going to take time, probably going to be a multi-year project, but we kind of knew that. Also, I think I've made a decision. I think we're going to go to 1945, unless I can end a war in, like, let's say 1940, and we'll end the campaign there. There will also be another special episode that'll come out soonish. I say soonish from my time perspective. This is recorded the day before Thanksgiving, and you guys have gotten 14 or something episodes in a row. I think you guys are going to go on 21-ish by the time I'm done recording. By the time I'm done recording sessions. It's a miracle what happens when you're at the end of the semester and there's no homework left. It's amazing. I can actually sit down and have fun. So, I think what I might do is take the Nebraska class. Because that's Wyoming. They've definitely gotten the Pacific under control. So what I might do is I might split the Nebraska class. And, well, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I just take the entire Nebraska class and half of the Floridas and put them in the front lines of the Pacific. So they would be the fleet out of San Francisco or San Diego. We still need to build the battle cruisers, but we might just new design those because, yeah. Soon as those refits are done, we'll have a lot more capacity in the shipyards. We are losing money, but like money is not a problem. But yeah, I do think we might go to 1945 just to make things simple. Kind of do with. I know the campaign was based on a 30-year campaign, but maybe we'll see how we're doing. If you guys. I don't need the money, but I would like the GDP. So that's always good. So we get the fast scout cruiser. Sonar Station 3, which is excellent. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Because this is a new cruiser. So these could replace probably, I think the oldest class is what? What's the oldest class of light cruiser? Lake Placids? Alright. Wait, were the Lake Placids our light cruiser for that long? No, I'm sorry, the Fresnos were the first class, yeah, but no, those guys are going to be, like last episode, those guys are going to manage the foreign ports. There's 14 of them, we could split them between, I don't know, 7 ports, give them 2 each. We're going to look at a new design. Cause now we need something to fill what the Fresnos were doing, so maybe a third complementary cruiser. We have one focused on destroyers, one focused on cruisers. Maybe we have a balanced one in the middle, kind of a fast scout cruiser, 32 knots. Same speed as the other light cruisers, but maybe more balanced. So we could have, theoretically, 3 classes of 26 ships. And then 26, 26, 26, what is that, 74, I think? 26, 26, that's 52. 78, I'm sorry, 78. So let's look at that new modern, like, no, there you are. Still have the large scale cruiser, alright. It's tiny. Okay. Nope, here we go again. Modern light cruiser. Alright, I don't know why it was doing that. Drop your range. Oil 2. Gear turbines. Aux 3. Shaft 3. Balanced rudder. Electro-hydraulic steering. Krupp 5. Anti-flood 2. Citadel 5. You are getting depth charges. You must carry them as standard. And double hull. Alright. And then we're going to try to do at least a 4-inch all around if I can. It's expensive for armor, but we kind of need these cruisers to be a bit more armored. We've seen what kind of damage can be done to these things. It's kind of weird. What if I widen you? Okay, that helps. Let's go for 8,000. Okay, we'll just do 8,000. Alright. As for towers, sure. You guys could be kind of an enforcer cruiser, maybe. You are immediately too heavy. Okay. Let's try a smaller tower. Maybe advanced tower 2. Okay, put that there. And then, oh, we can get the targeting tower. That's 15 versus 30. Nah, we need this at least. Okay. You're... It's heavy. May have to drop some armor. Just do the deck down to 3-inch. We got the gun funnels. Immediately overweight. Nah, I don't think we're ready for that. It's essentially a glorified destroyer. So that could be a torpedo cruiser idea, but I don't think we need that right now. So where are the Lake Placid still need to be refit? We'll get there. Let's continue, get those refits done. And then I think maybe we should look at next refit. So it should be, we'll probably start with the Lake Placids. They need to be refit. They're older. They've been a workhorse of the Navy. I know I've talked about this a lot, but the Lake Placids have just kind of carried the Navy, essentially. Those ships have just taken a lot of punishment, and they've been doing a lot. The Charleston class, also great. Speaking of which, we did design that new heavy cruiser, so we should get on building those. And then I need to make sure once we commission the next round of destroyers, the Hazelwoods, we make sure we rename some ships after destroyers that were sunk, especially at the end of the war. I've got the list around here somewhere. We'll finally be back up to 32 battleships, meaning we have 18 states left. Well, technically not. We have 16 states left. But I think we might do the Alaska as a... We'll do the Alaska and Hawaii as battle cruisers, kind of playing off the same design that they would have in real life. And then we'll do the North Carolina is going to be fast battleships anyway. So they're essentially battle cruisers. They're going to be 30,000 tons. They'll have 16-inch guns, so it's not really a problem. Those will come later. We're going to do Iowa class. We're going to have the New York versus New Jersey class, which is going to be that faster, lighter, modern battleship hull versus the fast battleship hull maxed out. So they're going to be similar tonnage. It's just going to be a speed difference, essentially. There'll be some tonnage differences. The New Jerseys are going to be lighter, but not by much. And the New Yorks are kind of going to represent the battle line, while the New Jerseys are going to be the fast battleships. So, all good things. All good things. I'm excited to see, how much support we've gotten over the channel. 17 subscribers. We're almost at 2,000 views, I think, which is amazing to think about. I hadn't used this channel in, 9 months, and then, for an incredibly sad reason, my grandmother was, the day that I recorded episode 0, passed away, but that morning I was kind of told that she had made a turn. So I started recording. I figured, well, it'll help in my public speaking class, because it's all improv, it's off the cuff, and then, just something to distract my mind, and I think she would want me to continue it. So yeah, it's going well. Uh, yeah, more GDP. Prefer not to antagonize everybody, please. Thank you. Triple hull. New radios. Heavy transport losses for the British. Canada allied with Japan. I mean, Japan, if you want to throw down again, I'll just take Canada. I mean, I do not care. I'll send the battle fleet up. I'll just take it. I'll have the army invade Canada or something. Finally realized Benjamin Franklin's dream. Yeah. What new ships did we design? Now that I think about it. Oh, dear God. The Constellations and the Yorktowns. Oh, right, the Los Angeles class. We need to build those. So, how many Charlestons do we have? 17. What's the other heavy cruiser class we have? Columbia's 18. So let's build 20. 20 Los Angeles. Yeah. Status. For heaven's sake. There we are. Where are they? Los Angeles. You all are gonna go. You do no. Dadgummit. Alright. Go to Boston. You cannot be the Iowa. I need a town name. Do we have a Cleveland? No, I know a name. Milwaukee. Milwaukee? Is that how you spell it? Hold on. I'm not from the Midwest, so I don't know how to spell Milwaukee. Milwaukee. M-I-L-W-A. Oh, okay, I know, I spelled it correct. Let's see. I thought we already had Boston. I don't know. Make this one Green Bay. Do we have Duluth? Buzzes bright in the American side. Coming back from some hill in Wisconsin. But we do not have a Cleveland. Nope, we do have a Cleveland. Cincinnati, Chicago, Rochester, Buffalo. I need your. It can't be Washington. You can be. I'm trying to think because I want to do a light cruiser class that's all kind of like boroughs of famous cities. Neighborhoods, whatever, wherever you're from. What about Austin? There you go. We have a Houston. We don't have an Austin. I know that for sure. We do not have an Austin. You cannot be named America. We cannot have a Colorado and a California. Kansas City. We don't have a Kansas City, right? No. Do we have a Chicago? No, we're building a Chicago. Do we have a Detroit? Why do we have two Denvers? Detroit and I don't know. Just throw a city name from the state of Florida. This is why we check things to make sure we don't have double names. Alright, we have two heavy cruisers named Denver, and they're both from the same class. Is the Golden still around? Yeah, alright. Denver, you're gonna be renamed. You're gonna be... I don't know. There you go. Davenport. I don't care. Make sure we don't have any double names anywhere. Alright. I think we're good. How long have I been recording for? 30 minutes. Alright. Let's just double check to make sure we don't have any more double names. Seattle, Senate, Shannon, South Carolina, South Dakota, South Lynn, Spence, Springfield, started Tallahassee, this Texas, I think we're good. So, that's good. Anywho, get that sorted out. Just make sure none of them are double named here. I don't think they are. We don't have a Philadelphia, right? The game's normally pretty good on that, yeah. The game's normally pretty good on this, so... yeah. So I'm going to go to the next turn. And then... hopefully the battleships are done refitting so I can put more ships on the production line. Because we really need to get those battleships, those battle cruisers out. Alrighty, and we're back. Two mechanisms. Indonesia. Sure. I probably shouldn't be agreeing to sales right now, but yeah, the money is nice. Plus 1 CL. Battleships are done refitting, so we're just waiting on space to clear up with the cruisers. Thankfully, the light cruisers are almost done. They've got 8 months. Idaho's got 13. So actually, let's go ahead and refit the... where are they? Are all the Lake Placids refit? Yes. Alright. We're going to modernize the Lake Placids. I don't know what happened to the original Lake Placid design that we did. I don't know. I don't see it. So we're going to assume it was not changed. Anywho. I think we're going to do the triple rear single forward. Yeah. Just make sure before I start. Yep. Alright. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the Charleston class heavy cruisers. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I should just clean slate this. Redesign from the ground up, essentially. I still think these ships are pretty powerful. It's just a matter of getting them right. These are good cruisers, so I don't imagine that we should just give up on them. Served us for what? 10 something years at this point. So we do get the 6-inch triples, which I am going to upgrade them to. Much more imposing. You are getting at least barbette 3. You're light cruising, you need that extra little bit of stuff. TNT 4, this just makes the ship more expensive, but we gotta do it. Capitalistic. High capacity. Electrohydraulic 2, you are getting sonar 3, you're getting coincidence 5, you're getting advanced radio. I do not care about mines. As for your rear tower, I'm going to do triple, starting from there. Then we need a dual barbette for medium guns here. And then 1, 2. Get that right about there. Alright. Funnels. How much further can I back this up without it being a problem? There is the answer. Does it still have a decent turn? Yeah. We just favor the aft more heavily with secondaries, I guess. Secondaries, 2-inch duals. One goes there. It's not as ugly as they used to be, for sure. Six on the superstructure. You definitely need more deck armor, that is for sure. And maybe a bit more on the belt. And we can do it, so we might as well. 6-inch 45s, I think, is how we're going to do it. Now they're not as offensive to the eyes. the Lake Placid class. These guys have done the Lord's work over the years. Coincidence 5, semi-auto. Yep. Still got decent range. We could probably put mines on them. Manslayer? Oh, we absolutely can. Alright, that'll work. Can I get a Pippa range back? I can. Alright. Yeah, Lake Placid class, the 1931 refit. Much deadlier ships than they used to be, that's for sure. New and improved. We'll just build a new one of these and make it the Tulsa, by the way. Please don't crash. What I might do with the new Lake Placids is I might send them out to be the, along with the Fresnos, just kind of, well, I guess the Lake Placids could theoretically stay in more modern service. They're much more modern than the Fresnos. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. The Fresnos are just going somewhere else. Lord knows where. Independence class still needs to be refit. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's do the brush class real quick. The original anti-submarine destroyers. Let's get these guys refit. The weird flush deck destroyers with this. Again, this. Let's refit it. Make it just a little bit better. Alright. Still, it's anti-submarine destroyer. It's not designed for long usage. It's just going to garrison foreign ports. It's not. This class, along with the other oldest classes of destroyers, are now essentially, they're just sitting there. They're not doing much. Cap ballistic. That's fine. They're just going to kind of sit there in a port. They're going to come out, we'll form a line with them, and they'll just be there. They're not doing anything besides just sitting there and being anti-submarine. You're getting upgraded depth charges, though. And I need your range up still, but I don't. Can I get maybe one more layer? No, that's fine. Still mine-laying destroyer. It's not much. Not much is changing with these. They're keeping the 4-inch. You need to go up to 30 caliber, by the way. Thank you. Nope, not enough. Yeah. Okay, be that way. Do this the hard way. 4-inch singles. Okay, need to go 4 things to get these to. Alright, that's fine. Whatever works, sure. These are anti-submarine mine-laying destroyers anyway. They're not doing much. Again, their job. Go out. Find submarines. Lay mines. Do whatever. I might centralize these guys around like one port. I haven't decided yet. We could put them in Syria. We could just command the Eastern Mediterranean. But I think I'm going to assign these guys to, like, let's say, take a Fresno, right? Take a Fresno and a Charleston, right? Which, let's go ahead and refit those while we're here. Where are they? Charleston? You're a heavy cruiser, right? Just Columbia. Yeah, let's refit them. So, like, the Charleston class, downgrade their guns to 8-inch. Give them some mines or whatever, and just send these guys to be, like, just sit there and hunt submarines and lay mines, just defend areas. So Syria's going to be a spot. Montenegro's going to be a spot. Colonial possession's going to be spots. Maybe we just send a bunch of them to Manila. Alright. I'm also designing these not just to be like throwaway ships, but you know, these ships should be able to, if worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario, these ships should be able to go into battle theoretically and do damage. You need a bigger belt, that is for sure, and a thicker deck while we're at it. Alright, your main guns. Maybe we stick with 10-inch triples. I mean, these guns have served you quite well, so it's not like... we'll stick with the 10-inch. These 10-inch. Inch 38 caliber. Alright. We're gonna have to do some. And we are overweight. Fine. There we go. Let's drop range a little bit. I think that's fine. You don't need... you need 12, 12, and like 4. There's nowhere to put secondary guns really, so it's kind of just like, eh. 5-inch secondaries, they're not doing much. Again, Charleston class. Just kind of there. That's kind of the point of the campaign we're getting to, where they're just kind of there, doing a job now. So... these guys, actually, now that I think about it, Charleston's we get to have in places like Taiwan or Formosa, Tainan, and just send them out there with a large group of mine-laying destroyers and just have them sit there and act to deny ports, essentially. And plus they can do like port defense missions. It's not like they're completely useless. Still, I mean, the Charlestons... they're still around. So, we're going to refit them. Proceed. Take 3 months. These guys will be refit, and then we will move on to the next round. So 3 months, we are losing money. It is fine. So, I know those cruisers are getting close to being done. Like, I think the CLs will be done by September of 31. So once those are done, we're about to get... oh, great. Watch them flip to Republic. Watch it. Advanced bulkhead protection. Indonesia, you may order 3 destroyers. I shall allow it. Kuznetsov, is that really a smart idea? Indonesia has ordered 3 destroyers. Okay. Yep, they went Republic. Rip the monarchy. Rip. Rip. Rip the monarchy. Not in a bad way. We quite like the British monarchy. Very interesting history. Then again, I'm a history nut. This is what I do all day. Yes, improve relations with Italy. Fleet. Should be almost done, right? Building. 7 months. It's a little bit longer than I was bargaining for. So, IMD-1, IMD-2. So, Indonesian modern destroyer. Because the Samuel N. Moores represent one of the more modern destroyer designs that we have. And those will be done in 8 months. A bunch of stuff will finish around the same time. The Florida class battleship for Egypt is not going to be anytime soon. So we're about to clear up about 7,000 tons. So how are we doing? We are bleeding money. What's costing us? Fleet refit, fleet building. Yeah. I could drop the budget a bit. And I might do that. Just drop it down to 85% for the time being. Alright, we'll go down to 80. It doesn't really matter. We've got plenty in reserves. I can just tank this for a couple of years if I wanted to, which I think I will. It's already allotted to us, so we're going to spend it. We're just finally getting around to spending it. We've been saving it for so long. So I think we'll go just a couple more turns and we'll see if anything happens. I don't really want to be at war, especially right now where we're very vulnerable. We have the most modern ships not ready yet. The Placids aren't refit. They're not ready yet. The Springfield class is ready, but they don't have their counterparts. The heavy cruisers aren't ready. They're designed for those 2 classes to operate with. It's just kind of a bad spot to be. Yeah, advanced mines. You're not getting a Vermont. I appreciate the idea, though. But, alas. We just don't have the tonnage. So, could I theoretically tank the tonnage if I, let's say, wanted to refit the entire Lake Placid class? Let's see. 6 months. No. The brush class. You guys are a small class, right? So if I was to refit all of you, that's more manageable. So we'll refit those. And it'll only take a month, so it's like not even using it. The Charlestons are almost done. That will clear up a lot of tonnage. So again, just fleet refitting program. But we knew this was going to take some time. We might have 1,000,001 tons of shipyard capacity. We just do not have. We just can't, throw everything at the wall at once. Which is technically what we're doing right now. No. we are getting a bunch of minor allies now, which is nice, finally. Chile. You only have Easter Island. We have the Galapagos, right? Yeah. You only have Easter Island. You will reconquer your homeland, maybe. I don't know. Okay. Next month. Those destroyers are done. Great. We're not refitting any ships right now. Excellent. Excellent, 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 excellent. So now we can move on to the entire Lake Placid class and then build the new Tulsa. Because freaking weird Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts funkiness. I guess you should say. You could say, not should say. You can say. That must be having a stroke. I'm fine. Busy week for everybody. Especially when I'm recording this. It's the week of Thanksgiving, so I know there's a bunch of episodes that are going up that are going to start leaning into December. So I know when this episode comes out, it's going to be December. I think if I remember the dates correctly that I scheduled everything for, this should be the episode that comes out on the 2nd, if not the 3rd. So I'm already more than a week ahead on episodes. I'm almost 2 weeks ahead, actually, and I wasn't planning on more GDP. No, no. Austria-Hungary has the Bosporus? Oh, that is a cursed Austria-Hungary. Maybe we should go to war with China. We could take Belgium. That sounds fun. I also have Mexico still to deal with. In story, this is a civil conflict where there's a nationalist Mexico who's the ones who keep joining up with the Japanese, and then these guys over here on the west coast are the allied ones. These are the more democratic ones. Just kind of a lore for the story. Politics, we're doing well. We are growing the economy once again. More growth. We're at $4 trillion in the economy. Our GDP go up. GDP go up. Is this that new cruiser design we were talking about, or is this something new? Oh, I just left that on. Okay, we got a modern heavy cruiser 2 hull coming out. Alright, that's fine. Rangefighters, please be radar. Yes! Radar! Please be 16-inch. Nope. Mark 4.8s. Alright. Radar is coming, finally! So we might just have to do a general refit where everybody gets radar. I meant to refit ships this last turn, didn't I? I did. We're still losing money. We're not running a deficit government. We have plenty in surplus. See, I don't think we've actually been in debt this entire game. Like, the naval funds have just been going up the entire game. So I'm assuming that we're paying a bunch of this money to pay down the U.S. debt in story. Now that Britain has gone republic, maybe we go take Cuba? Maybe we take the Bahamas, add 2 new states? I don't know. Form Pax Americana? Now that could be fun. That would be a fun goal to do in a custom campaign, if there's a way to do that. To do a Pax Americana, where you could get all of Mexico, the Caribbean, like the Monroe Doctrine to the extreme, where it's like, okay, United States has Mexico, Canada, and all the Caribbean as one nation. And then everything else is just like minor allies. It'd be a fun thing to do. Fortunately, I don't know how to mod, and that's a lot of coding stuff, and that's a little bit out of my wheelhouse, if you will. Very much out of the wheelhouse. The Los Angeles class is going to be really freaking good. Those guys are going to just delete anything they come across. But they will get the new 8-inch guns eventually. We'll have to do a refit. We'll refit the most modern stuff with radar. So, you know, the battleships are going to get radar. The most modern destroyers are going to get radar. We'll come back to the other ships in 35, because then we should have another radar upgrade. I think I might just keep one priority on rangefinders at all point. We'll take that. I don't want to piss everybody off. I was just taking an economy hit. You know what, Chile? You may. You may purchase a destroyer. Chile. +1 minesweeper / ASW. France has conquered the Congo. Great. So I will... Don't let me forget. I'm not going to forget to do that. Status. Thank you. We have a cruiser called Flint. Oh, no, these are new. They're almost done, 3 months. Where is that new... Aha, brush. So you're going to be minesweeper. So, Chilean, minesweeper, destroyer. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and refit the Lake Placids. So we're going to refit the entire class. Six months. We'll get around to the Connecticuts. We'll get around to handling that issue. Here, I just want to see if we can get a little bit further along before I end the episode. See if anything interesting happens. Because essentially this episode's just been a reorganization episode, which I don't mind. The battle episodes always do better in the algorithm because, of course, they do. But this is kind of a slower campaign. This is designed deliberately to be a slow campaign, so you guys can enjoy the story as it goes along. We are almost back to full strength. Lots of weird stuff happening. Modern Heavy Cruiser 2. Let's actually... Now that we have that, I don't think we're going to build it yet because we don't have radar. But let's take a look at this Modern Heavy Cruiser 2. Let's see what it looks like. Just to kind of take a peek. Because maybe we make these the complement. Maybe we make them a similar class to the Los Angeles. Maybe we find a different design for them. Let's just take a look. Hello, Super Battleship. You're not being built till at least we get 18-inch Mark IIIs. Alright. Modern Heavy Cruiser 2. Nope. This ship. Okay. Similar to the Heavy Cruiser 1. What? Oh, these are the modern towers that weigh 50 tons. That's a joke. They're just super heavy. What are the... Where are they? Los Angeles. You have 10-inch guns. What if we did... How big are you? 18,000 tons. Alright, what if we did a smaller cruiser? How fast are you? 28 knots. Just experimenting. What if we did these as 8-inch gun? Like 8-inch triple. Like, let's say... I'm just using this as a diagram for myself. Like, let's say 8 gun with some 5-inch secondaries, maybe. Kind of just fit them here. maybe 4. Again, this is just diagramming it out so I can think. Tower here, funnels here. Right? Just kind of diagramming it out. You don't have underwater, but that's fine. Again, it was just looking at the design. I think we could make it work. I think we could make that design work. We still have to replace 5 destroyers, but it's fine. We have 60 of the Samuel Moores. I forgot about that. Alright. I think that's going to do it for this episode. Now we're really bleeding money. I should probably not do that much. We'll drag it down till we're at least making some form of money. Can I go 90% without losing money? No. We'll go to 85 then. Alright. Yes. Alright. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode, like I was saying. The fleet refitting program continues as we begin ready to welcome the newest ships, including the Langley class and the Los Angeles, into the ranks. It's only a matter of time. The oldest designs in the fleet are being refit. Next episode, we're going to try to fix the issues with the Connecticuts, get the Puerto Ricos fixed, and then start refitting the battle line. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. See you in the next one.